All right, welcome back to Distance from Center. Trent Finlayson.
I'm Horton, and we're here to talk about Masters qualifying.
Wait, wait, wait,
So,
wait, wait,
God
wait. So,
willing, we're going to get.
yeah, you're saying that there's a season there's a ski season this year? Is that
We hope so. You listen to the national news, and it looks like COVID's pulling back, or things are getting better. Obviously, there's still, it's not happy days out there, but I'm really optimistic we're going to get Masters in Malibu and Swiss, and a couple of ball spray cash prizes, and we're as much back to normal as is possible.
awesome? All right, so Masters are coming up. I think that unofficially there's a date that I think midway through this month where they're going to say absolutely yes or absolutely no. Have you heard anything along those lines, or is that just
I heard March 15th, and I heard April 1st.
okay?
Hopefully, April 1st is not an omen.
Oh yeah, got it.
But so qualifying is kind of interesting. So this news came out. They actually got a announcement from the people at Masters last December 10th, and it kind of went mostly unnoticed. And then kind of later this winter, it got pointed back out to me. As a fan, when I heard this news, I thought this was really cool stuff because what they're going to do is, in lieu of using the elite list, because last year there was no official elite list,
Okay.
they were going to run 3 qualifiers,
Okay.
3 weeks in a row, and the skier with the highest single score from each one of the qualifiers, there's going to be 2 of them, so highest score first and second highest score from each
So
weekend.
first and second, first place, second place
Right,
from weekend one, we'll
right.
say gets an automatic invite to the Masters.
Correct.
First
and then
place
again,
and
the
second
second
place from the second weekend, automatic. And then I think the last one is first, second, and third, right? To get 7 people.
Third week, no. Yes. You're correct.
I don't have it
actually,
in front of me, but it's something along those lines. I
actually,
think.
top 3 finishers on the first event.
Okay.
And then top 3 finishers on the
That's
second
what it
event,
is.
and then top 2 in the second.
That makes 8. That makes 3, 6. That makes 8 plus last year's champion makes 9.
Right. So in my mind, I heard this and I thought, I hope this is going to be webcast. It's going to be huge drama. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be exciting. And, the drama is going to be great because we're going to get through. And then I talked to a couple of skiers at your level and some of the current pro skiers, and the excitement was not really the same. So, Trent, what is your take?
Well, and so, for me, number one, never casting stones at people that are, putting on events, and the Masters, this is the I guess this will be the 60th or the 61st Masters. So it's a lot of history. Got it. It's a private tournament. They can do whatever the heck they want. But I'm like, well, why would the most, if this is the most prestigious event, in pro skiing, and arguably it is, why are they drawing off of 3 record tournaments? It makes no sense. To
Let's
me.
be amateur tournaments.
No prize money, So I'm just like, well, like I don't understand it, and as a former pro skier and just a huge fan of the sport, I just think they're doing their own event a disservice. I mean, this is the Masters, and 3 Florida amateur weekend record tournaments are compiling the invite list. It seems very strange to me. I just think they had other far more appeasing options. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't just go off the 2020 invite list, full stop, plus an LCQ.
Right.
And if for some reason that isn't palatable, well then, there were enough events last year. The list might look different, but there's still what events were there last year?
There was Mastercraft, Malibu, Swiss.
There was Hilltop. There was
Hilltop.
And I know that just because the elite points got frozen. There was just other ways of doing it. You could have done the 2020 list plus if there were any event, pro event winners from last year that would be in addition to. I don't know. It seems it seems like a strange decision, and it feels really lackluster from my perspective. I read through, and part of their explanation was, whatever events did happen last year, many people weren't able to travel to those events. Fair enough, but I mean, is everyone able to travel and spend 3 weekends in a row in Central Florida? That seems strange to me.
Well, and then
especially excuse me to interrupt again, but especially for the junior field. So these kids are going to. I mean, you can say, well, a lot of the pros live in Florida. Some of the pros live in Florida. That's fine. But I mean, what about the juniors from all over the world? They're expected to spend a month in Florida to qualify for Junior Masters. Seems weird.
Well, and to that point, a year ago, trying to get ready for the 20 Masters, a lot of them or their parents had spent an astounding amount of money attending tournaments and going to ski schools and getting ready, trying to be the qualifier for the 2020 Masters, and now that's all been washed away, and the juniors have a similar program as the pros. They have to go to 2 of those 3 tournaments, I believe, to qualify. So all those efforts are washed away. Why not just allow those people that were qualified a year ago to move on plus an LCQ?
I mean, that makes the most sense to me. But again, I'm going to applaud this is an unprecedented situation, and I think that they were forced to come up with something. I just think they tried a little too hard, maybe without maybe didn't see what might have been the most obvious, and just look at, I don't know. That aside, I'm not going to start giving specific examples of people that I think are going to get a raw deal through this, but given that, I mean, it was probably 15 years ago that the Masters stopped using amateur ranking lists, meaning the IWSF list, to make a part of their invite. I don't know why now they're reverting back to amateur scores, amateur tournaments. Again, there was a last chance qualifier, which added all the drama in the world. So I just feel like that would have been enough. Go off last year's list and still do your LCQ, let one person in each division in, and boom, you've got your Masters. But again, they've never been here, and this is and as always, applaud anyone that's putting time, effort, and money into this. So I'm not not blindly just throwing stones. It seems it's from a huge fan of water skiing, it just seems like a disappointing way to come up with a Masters list. If you look at the only people that are already invited, the only people that are invited are last year's champions. So go start going through your head.
2019 champions.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the last Masters champion. So, you start going through your head of think about who's not already invited to the Masters. And that's, if the excuse is last year didn't really happen or didn't happen enough, it's strange that, someone like Will Asher, Freddie Krueger, Nate Smith, all these, or unless Freddie Krueger won the 19, I can't remember. I thought it was either he or Dodd. But anyway, there's some huge people that obviously should be invited to the Masters that aren't invited to the Masters. So it just seems strange to me.
Right. Now, and I wouldn't want to be on the committee that tried to figure out how to do this. Well, like I say, when I first heard this, I was excited about it, and then I've spoken to a couple people who are likely going to be qualified for the Masters, and they're not stoked about this. They feel like they're being forced to go to amateur tournaments, which is I don't know, as a true super elite, one of the top handful of skiers in the world, is going to amateur tournaments something they don't normally do. I'm ignorant.
No, I mean, a lot of people go to almost everyone who is qualified to the Masters, they still attend that LCQ as kind of a, it's a big tournament. It's kind of a little warm up, but for them to be, if they want to go to the Masters, they absolutely must go to 3 Central Florida record tournaments that early in the year. It's just it's strange. I think it's dumbing down that invite list. But that being said, when we look at the invite list in the end, it's probably going to be quite similar. But there, I guess the upside is there is, I can see from some people's perspective, it's this might be exciting because there's a really good chance that someone might just sneak in, and some huge names are going to be left out. But I'm just not sure if is that what the Masters? That's not really what the Masters is typically about.
I don't know. And I mean, as I said at the beginning, as a fan, I see drama is interesting. I mean, we don't have a ton of drama. I understand from a super elite pro skier perspective that this is not, at least with some of the skiers, definitely not popular.
And I mean,
a massive poll.
Granted, no one cares what I think. That's fine. But I'm just thinking about I'm thinking about these pro skiers who should already be invited, and I was like, oh, you're just gonna have to dredge your way to, 3 record tournaments in Orlando if you want to participate in this year's Masters. Seems strange to me, but again, I'm stoked that they're putting, as always, time, money, effort. Heck yeah, it does not go. It's not lost on me at all. It's just so this is details, but it's just a little disappointing from a fan standpoint.
Okay, but let me see if I can distill this. See if I understand. So the current state is go to 3 record tournaments around Florida, when last year we had more than 4 cash prize truly pro tournaments. Mm-hmm. So that's the trade-off. Is that distilling the problem?
Well, ask me that another way. I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, in other words, in lieu of counting truly professional tournaments, which did happen, which are in the books, we are replacing them as qualifying events, which they would have been under an elite list, with 3 amateur events, which are going to cost the skiers money, but everybody has to try to get to the Masters because that's how they get paid by either their corporate sponsors or their
international federations. Yeah, some people. Some people that it'll definitely impact. But no, you're exactly right. So, it's strange logic to me. If last year's events weren't well enough attended because of travel restrictions, getting into and leaving the U.S. from parts of Europe and South America and all the wherever, I just don't know why it's easier for these guys to now travel across the globe and spend 3 weeks in Orlando before the Masters, hoping to try and qualify. It's the logic is lost on me.
So, kind of a sidebar, and I have no idea on this, but do we know? Can we expect Joel and Jacinta to come from Australia and Sasha to come from France?
I think it's too early to know. It's too early to know. I mean, I know Australia at the moment. You can only enter the country if you are a citizen or resident. I think there might be some sort of work exception, but I know that you are, upon arrival, you spend 2 weeks in a government operated hotel. So I guess the point is, no. I mean, they can't just freely come into and out of the country. Absolutely not. And I don't see that changing before these qualifying record tournaments. But so the point is, the logic is lost to me. I don't see how this is less burdensome than last year. And if we can agree that both are too burdensome, then going back to the lost Masters invite list, it seems just so rational to me. Plus an LCQ.
Right. I agree.
But heck yeah, Masters. It's going to happen. As of now, it looks like it's going to happen. So hopefully, because, just like any other year, people are thirsty for to watch their favorite skiers battle it out again. Back to, you had made that comment like, oh, I hope it's going to be webcasted. I would, given that they are amateur tournaments, they're going to be run on the cheap, not that any of these sites, don't host the best tournaments on the planet. They do, but I would be very, very shocked that if there's going to be a webcast at an amateur tournament, even though it is being, is serving as a Masters qualifier.
Well, one of the elite skiers I spoke to said that if they spend money on webcasts but not prize money,
ouch.
yeah, the anger would be astounding.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, what else you got?
That's it. We're back in the boat here finally. Texas had a bit of a winter, but people are starting to ski here, so that's it. Back in the boat, back to work.
All right.
Coaching daily again. Thankfully.
All right, fantastic. We'll be back soon.
See you all soon.